the lack of liberal arts education, as well as the early specialization into
lack of liberal arts education, lack of liberal arts education, lack of liberal arts education, lack of liberal arts education.
Well, you know what? You don't have churches, you don't have communities, you don't have anything enforcing a social moral value code of any kind whatsoever. Most of the kids today, if you mention a name like Play-Doh, it's a name they saw on a banner on a web or some social influencer.
Oh, no, it's something that they played with.
That's right.
I have two kids, one who's 5 and one who's 2. So you say Play-Doh, like that's what I think about.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So, but to me, like it's interesting because what I'm talking about here is, so Dave, I don't know if you overheard, I was saying how the lack of multiple disciplines and letting young children without the experience and everything go into scientific fields, like trying to propel them in this race for scientific excellence and specializing them, is what kind of creates a little bit of this mess, because it has happened in my opinion.
Science is the analysis without the relationships.
Well, right now it is.
Relationship back into the thing. Like what does AI mean in the context of society?
Exactly.
Like, great, you have AI, it can answer you. What is that, full stop? It's how it affects our lives.
Yeah.
Right? It's how we live. It's how we interact with one another.
And this is where I do think that actually even computer programs and IT went wrong, because they were such a secluded, clustered bunch when the first binary codes were starting to be converted into usable computer systems, that they had their way of thinking, and that's still the underlying code underneath all the computers and internet systems right now. As someone explained it to me, we're talking about a very secluded group of Caucasian males from certain demographics and certain colleges that founded everything code for computers, which is why I believe they finally woke up the other year and said, oh my gosh, HR programs have a tendency to be biased against women, against minorities, has a stereotype bias also on top of that, layered in, depending on which form and code over the years were layered on top. And you start looking at that saying, okay, so computer programs are biased, but where did it start? And a friend of mine who's family members worked in early Silicon Valley, she explained to me what she was told when she was younger, how biased it actually was, right?
Well, how many women have been recognized for the work that they did in either AI or the lunar landing missions, or working with, like major milestones in mathematics? People, if you ask, name me one female mathematician, just one.
Just think of the movie. Think about that movie.
Yeah, Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan. I mean, none of those were women, and you say, well, why is that? And yeah,
but we know the women, we know the scientists that did. This is the funny thing about what you're saying, Judy. Like, now, if I say, name me the greatest anthropologist in the world, well, everyone's going to go to Margaret Mead, but there's a liberal arts social science, kind of like it's science, but it's more on that liberal arts side, right? So we know the women who did the liberal arts work. We don't know the women who did the technical work, because that work tend to be stolen by men. What was that? Oh, I was just reading about that. Francis Crick. Yeah, that's right. I can't, and now here it is. I can't remember her name, so I'm going to go look this up. So I'm living proof that this is true. Not identify her.
She didn't get credit, and Crick didn't give her the credit.
Correct.